A few months ago, I walked into a computer store looking for a refurbished M1 MacBook Air for a project that I was working at the time. But I ended up walking out of that store with something much more meaningful. So I met this young gentleman. He was standing in front of the pre-built PC section, comparing specs. He was clearly in deep thought, had a lot of questions. We got talking, and he told me that he was trying to save up. He's trying to find something affordable that he could one day run GTA 6. I mean, his eyes just lit up when he talked about gaming. He was really passionate about it, but you could also tell that he was working with a really tight budget. And I don't know, that moment, it just stuck with me. It reminded me of how it all starts, just wanting a decent gaming setup to chase your passion, or even just escape a little after school. I remember when I was his age and I was trying to save up as much as I could to build my very own first gaming PC, and it was a lot of hard work. I found a summer job and I literally saved every penny I possibly can to put towards a gaming PC, and man, that was really fulfilling. But anyways, he had no idea. Right then and there, I made the decision that I was going to build him a gaming PC and to surprise him with it. Now, I've always wanted to build a clean, beautifully aesthetic PC. I've always envisioned white builds to be sort of elegant and, you can really build towards a really nice, clean gaming setup. The components that I chose, I hope they look cohesive. But most importantly, this build isn't for me. It's for someone who I randomly met at a computer store. A student who has big dreams, a tight budget, and just a real love and passion for gaming. He had no idea that I was planning this, so I hope he loves it. So to kick things off, we have the case. I went with the Lee & Lee LandCool 207 in white. This was an easy choice. The LandCool 207, it offers exceptional airflow and thermal performance, especially considering its budget-friendly price point. It's a compact ATX case that doesn't compromise on cooling. It's got clean aesthetics, smart layout, fantastic build quality, and it's easy to build with. Right, Dimitri?
You would be correct, my good sir. The 207 is definitely one of my favorite compact mid-towers. I'm glad we share the same pleasures in life, my friend. Back to you.
Now for the motherboard, I went with Asus ROG Strix B860A. It's one of the most elegant motherboards that I've come across in a while. The metallic heat sinks, they match the all-white theme perfectly, and it doesn't just look good. It's packed with a lot of features. It's got Wi-Fi 7, support for PCI Gen 5, and USB 4 for ultra-fast data transfers. It's pretty future-proof. Now, the heart of this PC is the Intel Core Ultra 7 265KF. This chip delivers strong, consistent performance. It's ideal for gaming and productivity. With fast clock speeds and a healthy core count, I feel like it's ready to take on some demanding workloads. Just keep in mind that the KF means there's no integrated graphics, so a discrete GPU is a must, but we'll get to that later. And to cool this chip, we have the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 360mm AIO. This thing has been really well reviewed. It's quiet, it's cool, it's incredibly efficient, and because it's white, it again matches with the theme. Arctic continues to bring top-tier value with cooling solutions that rival far more expensive options. Now, for memory and storage, I have to thank Crucial for stepping in and supporting us with this build. So we have the Crucial Pro Series DDR5 64GB kit and their P310 1TB and 2TB Gen 4 NVMe SSDs. With Ballistics now retired, Crucial's Pro Series marks a strong return to the gaming scene. So these kits offer expanded capacities up to 120GB, higher bandwidth, and tighter timings, all while maintaining a super low profile design for broad compatibility with modern coolers. There's no RGB here, it's clean. I love the stealthy heat spreaders that just blend seamlessly with the motherboard. The Pro Series also supports Intel's XMP 3.0, and the overclocking line brings some serious headroom for memory tuning later as well. And with 3TB of storage, I wanted to make sure that he has plenty of space for all of the games that he loves. And as a little bonus, each drive includes a 1-month Adobe Creative Cloud subscription, so he can try out the full suite of creative tools if he ever feels like exploring that side as well. And for the GPU, arguably the most important piece of this entire build, I went with the XFX RX 9070 XT Magnetic Air Edition. This thing is a beast. It's a 3.5 slot card, so yes, it's massive. Fingers crossed it fits snug inside this case. Design-wise, it's clean yet aggressive with bold, edgy aesthetics that again complements the all-white build perfectly. And under the hood, you've got access to 16GB of GDDR6 memory, and that's cooled by a nickel-plated copper vapor chamber with 6mm heat pipes and dual ball bearing fans, all working together, hopefully delivering really good thermal performance. And finally, powering this entire build is the Lianli Edge 1000 watt power supply. It's plenty enough to power all the components going to this PC, and it also comes in white with matching cables. So yeah, this build is slowly starting to come together. Not bad, eh? I'm genuinely thrilled with the way how this thing turned out. Building an all-white themed gaming PC is no easy task. One of the biggest challenges is the variation in white tones across different components. For example, the case leans more towards a cooler side, while many of the internal components have a warmer hue. So we've definitely got a little 50 shades of white situation going on over here. But honestly, I think this thing looks clean. The RGB diffusion on the Lanco's 207 stock intake fans just blew my mind. It's smooth, soft, it's just gorgeous. The Strix B860A motherboard is easily one of the best looking boards that I've built with, and those crucial Pro memory sticks complement it beautifully, adding to the overall symmetry. I was also pleasantly surprised by the braided power cables from the Lianli Edge power supply, especially the 24-pin and CPU power cables. They even managed to color match the connectors perfectly, tying the whole theme together seamlessly. Now, the 9070 XT is no joke, it is absolutely massive. I actually debated mounting it vertically to show off those slick magnetic fans, but unfortunately, the white Lianli bracket for this case is pretty much sold out everywhere, so I just kept it classic. And I'm actually glad I did, because the subtle light strip along the edge of the GPU adds a nice pop, and once again, the RGB diffusion is spot on. Now, just like every other build that I've worked on, this one had its own fair share of hiccups, and yeah, a few of them were on me. First of all, I completely forgot to install the contact plate for the Arctic cooler before mounting the motherboard. So of course I had to backtrack, pull out the board and start over. The instructions are online only. They are well organized, but I really wish if there was a physical manual in the box. Then came the USB 3.0 header. Now, as I was adjusting the cable, the housing for the connector itself just popped off the motherboard. And that took me quite some time. And it's honestly moments like these that add towards the overall frustration, and it just makes me feel like ASUS's QC department has taken a bit of I think they've slacked a little bit. So the next thing that I ran into was clearance issues. So halfway through the build, I realized that I hadn't connected the CPU power cables because the 360mm radiator was already mounted and I just didn't have enough room to reach it. So yeah, the radiators came off, cables went in, radiator went back on. And lastly, there was the ARGB header on the XFX GPU. Now, for some reason, it's placed all the way near the I/O, so routing that tiny cable through an already packed case wasn't fun. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really happy with the cable management there. And oh yeah, finally, Armory Crate. I had issues getting it to detect the ARGB devices, so I ended up uninstalling it, reinstalling it, updating the BIOS, and magically it just worked. But man, I have to say, Armory Crate has gotten worse lately. There's even a whole Reddit thread with people sharing their frustrations with this software. It's seriously weird, and I mean, there's just so much going on. So my next step is probably to try something like Signal RGB. I've heard nothing but great things about that. So that's the build. A little chaos, a little sweat, but in the end, it all came together. And now all that's left is surprising its new owner. All right, so it's surprise day for our friend. He is dropping by the studio pretty soon, actually, in about 15 minutes. I told him I was working on a cool project and I'd like his feedback on it, and if it's okay if I film it. He agreed to it, so yeah, hopefully I'd be able to get his reactions on camera, but I'm nervous, so yeah. Wish me luck. This is a small space. I don't have a lot of work. I don't have a lot of room to work with, but
the keyboards I see behind you.
yeah, these are the keyboards.
You're a car guy too, I see. Is that a Aston Martin?
This
Valkyrie?
is a Valkyrie.
Yeah, Valkyrie, exactly.
So I was working on this build, and I was just wondering, like, what are your initial thoughts on it? Because kind of like, you know, I was contemplating on going with a full sort of minimalistic approach.
Yeah, I think this is very clean, man. Like,
Yeah.
Nothing too like jumpy and anything. And honestly, the RGB and all that stuff in my thing,
Yeah.
I just kept it static at one color. I don't really care for it. Consistent, even across the GPU, the cabling as well. Is that cable mods?
No, stock cables.
Stock cable?
Stock cables from Lee & Lee. And then the GPU is
I cannot hear it at all.
it's it's a 9070 XT from AMD.
Is that like 3 slots wide?
It's a 3.5 slot card. This thing is a behemoth of a card. Like, I mean, you can tell it takes like 3 8-pin connectors. So you could tell, like, it is a power hungry GPU.
No issues like the 5090s and all with the cables melting or anything?
I got a little surprise for you.
Oh.
This is yours.
No way. No freaking way. Holy shit. No way. Did you build this for me? Like,
I did.
Wow, what the hell? My God.
After I left the store, I was like, man, like, I remember when I was your age, right? I was like scrambling to like save every penny I could to like build a PC. And it was tough. It was rough, right? But I was like, man, I gotta hook him up with something cool. So that's why I like reached out to the store owner and I asked him if it was okay for us to exchange contacts, and then, you know, and then obviously we got in touch, and obviously with the help of our partners, we were able to come up with something. But this is yours to take home, man.
I cannot believe it, man. Can I shake your hand?
Of course, not a problem, not a problem.
Thank you so much, man.
Of course.
Honestly, like, I wasn't really expecting it. Just walking in and like having the experience of where you work at, what would have been enough for me. This is, wow.
You can actually play GTA 6 now.
Yeah,
You can.
I was hoping to actually get a new graphics card by the time GTA 6 comes out.
Yeah.
And they also announced Oblivion, the remaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So you won't. I don't think you'll have any issues, because the 9070 XT is one heck of a card.
Looks almost like the Cybertruck headlights.
Oh my, okay, I can't unsee that now. That's a great observation. Every time when I see a Cybertruck on the road, I'm like, why does this thing even exist? Well, there you guys have it. Seeing someone so passionate, curious, and driven reminded me why I love doing this. I just hope that this new PC opens new doors for his journey, his future, whether if it's gaming, creator focused, or just exploring what he loves to do. And to everyone watching this, thank you so much for being a part of this journey. And it's just a gentle reminder that it doesn't take much to make someone's day. You know, something small, just a small gesture, it can have a big impact. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.